they're coming.
Well, just like the Sooners, Maine is 4-4, but Maine's got no problems at receiver. In fact, they got a good one, who just so happens to be the son of a Hall of Famer and our ESPN colleague, Randy Moss.
Yeah, his son, Montego Moss. And listen, it's not fair to compare him to the Hall of Fame dad that he has, but let's do it anyway. He's not as fast as his dad, 4.3 sub 40, but he's got the hands. He will go and attack the ball at the highest point, just like his dad did when he was playing at Marshall. So they have that in common, blessed with those great receiving hands.
This is the first ever meeting between Maine and Oklahoma. In case you're wondering, Maine is 4-26 versus FBS programs. All 4 of those wins have come since 2004. Their one victory, 1-0 versus the SEC, as a victory over Mississippi State in 2004. Joey Bryson kicks things away. We're underway here in Norman. Let's go down to the field, and here's Lauren Sisler.
Hey guys, look, you talked about the storms this season, and Jackson Arnold talked about the ups and downs, but he said really what it has done for him is it's brought him perspective. It's changed up his lens a bit. He's had to sit the roller coaster that it's been, the ups and downs, the back and forth. He said he was playing with the expectations on his shoulders, felt like he was playing restricted, but really now he's been able to open up, play more free, and really he said he's had some of the best experiences in these last couple of weeks in Ole Miss. You saw in that football game one of his best games of the season. So now he can play loose, play free. We'll see how he does today.
Takes the snap, and they're going to keep it over the left side, and Arnold showing off the wheels. You know, Jackson Arnold was the #1 player out of Texas. He was a 5-star talent a couple of seasons ago. He did start last week against Ole Miss after being benched against Tennessee. That was back on September 21st. Here's the handoff to Javante Barnes. Barnes has certainly been coming on strong the past couple of weeks, Rod. Last week had the best performance of the season for him.
Yeah, he ran really hard, very physical, broke tackles, and brought the rushing attack to life for this Sooners team.
New offensive coordinator Joe John Finley going with a little more tempo than they've had this season as Barnes gets another carry.
You know, the thing about Jackson Arnold and last week's performance, one, they got the ball out quickly. I mean, that was the game plan. Quick game, RPO game, didn't really use any drop back game. None of the really slow developing pass routes, some play action, but they allowed him to get rid of the ball quickly, and they allowed him to run.
Second down, Arnold under pressure. Eludes a Black Bear using his legs again and tripped up. Shakur Smalls who makes the stop for Maine.
Well, we talked about the offensive line issues in the open, and that's been a huge problem. 19 sacks in the last 2 games, just an unheard of number. And you saw on that last play to create this third down, the Black Bears got some pressure.
39 sacks on the season for Oklahoma. Third down coming. Maine showing pressure. Oklahoma looking to change the play. 5 seconds on the game clock. Arnold under pressure, eludes it, throws it away, and Oklahoma will punt things away.
That is a huge beginning for Maine. You know, they gave up a first down and then come back and they show they get pressure. So the weakness that Oklahoma has had with their offensive line play, Maine took advantage of that on second down and third down on this series, and that's got to be a great start and a confidence builder for the Black Bears.
Luke Elzinga will punt things away for Oklahoma, and standing back at his own 20 is Mo Arevin. Short punt and rolls out of bounds at the 30, and that's where Maine will take over. Just a 31-yard punt for Oklahoma. So here comes Carter Peavy for Maine. Grad student, transfer out of Mercer. You know, he threw for a season high 279 on a career-high 29 completions to 11 different receivers last week in the loss to Rhode.
He has faced big-time opponents before while at Mercer, Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, so this will not awe him to be in this environment.
Jahari Martin in the backfield. He gets the call first over that left side and picks up a couple. Now, Peavy is a guy who can throw it, but you know what? He can run it too. Take a look at what he did last season against Ole Miss.
Yeah, we were talking about it. He has played against big-time opponents and had success. So he's going to play with a certain amount of confidence in this ball game because he's been there, done that.
Came in the spring to Maine. He's known as an accurate thrower. 2nd and 9 for Maine. Fake the end around, and he'll throw it out of the backfield, but too short. He one-hopped it to Martin.
Yeah, he had something there had he been able to get that ball up there. And listen, Maine has to punch first. I mean, their defense went out and got a good stop. The Maine offense now has to punch first. They're in a tough situation here with 3rd and 9 because this is a very aggressive defense. They will come after you. Top 4 in sacks this season, and this is the situation they want, and they will turn loose everybody, including our Mason Thomas, who's an outstanding speed pass rusher on the edge.
Yeah, Oklahoma 3rd in the SEC in sacks. They've got 26. You know, Mikhail Waters, the offensive coordinator for Maine, told us we have to be efficient on 1st and 2nd down. We have to have 3rd and short. They don't have it here. Let's see what they do on 3rd and 9. They move the pocket and throws, and it's complete to Montego Moss, and he looks to be about a yard shy of the line to gain.
Yeah, he's not happy with himself because he knows that he should have run that route a little bit deeper. You know, he's got to push this up because you know you're coming back to the ball, and just a little short of it. And how about this? They're trying to punch first. They're going for this on their own 41. If they don't get it, short field for Oklahoma, but they're being aggressive and trying to get that first punch in.
4th and 1 for Maine, and a flag comes in.
Confusion in the Oklahoma secondary.
Delay game on the defense using the clapping signal. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And that has been a point of emphasis this season.
That's right.
Making sure that penalize the defense when they're trying to mimic the offense.
Well, and the defensive coaches are really upset about this because they're saying, hey, look, we like to move our defensive line, and how do we do it? You're telling us we can't talk. We have signals, we yell, we tell, sometimes we clap. Why is that a penalty? Well, because the offense always claps. It claps first.
It's a first down now from the 46 to the outside. Receiver screen. And brought down close to midfield.
It'll be interesting to see if the Black Bears try and take a shot down the field here. You're at the midfield area. They want to be aggressive. They want to get the first punch in. This is a defense, though, that almost never takes the safety out of the middle of the field. And he plays pretty deep.
Give him 3 yards. We're looking at 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. That's Jahari Martin. And he's hit at the 49.
I know that they want to grind it out and burn some clock, but running against this defense, 1st down, 2nd down, it isn't going to get you a lot of money. That is what this defense does really, really well. Stop the run and get to the quarterback. And now you have allowed Oklahoma to turn their pass rushers loose.
Third and 7 for the Black Bears. Peavy throws, that's complete to the outside. That's the tight end, Cooper Heisey, and he's got enough for a first down.
And this happens because Moss runs off the coverage. Look how he clears out, and there's space created, and that allows Heisey to get the catch and pick up the first down. This is a fairly confident-looking Maine offense.
You know, we were talking with Jordan Stevens, the head coach of Maine, before the game, and I said, what do you want to see early on? He said, I want to see my guys come out here and compete.
Yep, and he said, look, we're not going to be afraid. We want to throw the first punch.
1st and 10 from the Sooners. 48 or 43. Check that. Peavy through the air. Incomplete. He was looking at Montego Moss. Down to the field. Here's Lauren.
Hey, you guys talked about it. Peavy has played in several SEC stadiums, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, and he said, look, the message to the team this week, don't make it any bigger than it is. Sure, there'll be more people watching, more fans in the stands, but just go out there, play our ball, play our best, and we'll see where the chips fall.
He's a mature guy. Got married in December. Heck, he led Mercer to the FCS playoffs as well.
And brought his wife from Georgia to cold country Maine and got away with it.
Ryan Santana fifth in the backfield. Peavy will keep it. Peavy's got a first down. Down the sideline. And Peavy inside the 10 and knocked out of bounds inside the 5. Billy Bowman saved the touchdown.
Really aggressive play by the defense and the zone read. Everyone attacked the running back. Now, we showed you earlier Peavy's ability to keep the ball and run as he did last season. And then he makes everybody get lost here. Now, there's a little block on the back end, even so much of a great fake. Our camera crew is trying to find it too. It's a really, really good fake.
40-yard run by Carter Peavy, and it is 1st and goal for the Maine Black Bears from the 3. 3 tight end set from Maine. To the air. Touchdown, Maine, Heisey.
And there's a smattering of boos in the stadium now.
You said punch first, and the Black Bears do just that as they go 9 plays, 68 yards.
How much time?
How about Carter Peavy, too?
Led that clock.
40-yard scamper, went 4 of 6 through the air. Extra point is good. And it is Maine who strikes first. Heisey with the touchdown catch as the Black Bears roar first here in Norman.
If I was to describe
Maine, you talked about punching first, and I'll tell you what, they certainly did that thanks to Peavy.
Yeah, this is a tough view, I know, but I want you to see the entire field and see what happens here. Oklahoma loses the edge, loses leverage when their defensive end crashes down, and Martin, the running back, comes out and around and blocks the remaining guy, the corner. So a loss of leverage and an extra man to block opened up a huge run for Peavy.
Keep in mind, Oklahoma won 48-0 and 76-0. Down 7-0 here early on, and they keep it on the ground. And Javante Barnes is loose. Barnes down the left sideline. Javante Barnes, a big-time house call. Devin Vaught trips him up, but it was too late as Vaught goes 75 yards to the house.
You want an answer? That's an answer. And you know, there's blocking, and then there's a running back doing what he was born to do. Make guys
Previous
miss.
play is under further review.
Longest run of the season for the junior out of Vegas, who's their leading rusher. They're going to take a look to see if they got him.
He was starting to run out of gas at the end there.
Ooh, that knee. That knee may have come down at the 1.
And where's the ball? Where's the ball when his knee touches? That's the real critical issue.
That was a good look from our pylon cam.
Watch how many guys he makes miss inside. 2 guys there who had the ability to make the tackle.
After review, the player was down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal at that spot.
So a 74-yard run by Javonte Barnes. Still longest run of the season for him and any OU player.
If anyone gets the football down here other than Barnes, that'll be a shame. He needs to finish this off.
In fact, that's the longest run for a Sooner since 2021. A guy named Caleb Williams ran 74 yards.
Whatever happened to him?
I heard he was pretty good.
Yeah. Quarterbacking still, maybe somewhere?
Yeah. So 1st and goal for the Sooners from the 1. Let's see if they give it to Barnes. Arnold tries to keep it.
Yeah, see, that ball needed to go to Barnes. If he pitches that, Barnes in the end zone.
Christian Thomas was the first guy to meet him and stop him.
You know, we could see the rushing attack coming alive last week. There's an option to pitch it, and he doesn't.
This time he gives it to Barnes. Barnes, full steam ahead. Touchdown, Oklahoma. His 3rd of the season.
Didn't you think he was one of the guys who really stood out last week in that loss to the Mississippi Rebels?
Had 16 carries, 67 yards. Also had 5 catches for 57 yards as well receiving.
And it was the way he ran. He ran through tackles. He ran hard. He finished runs falling forward. And then today he comes out and he makes 2 potential tacklers miss in the open field.
Extra point by Keltner is good, and we've got a 7-7 tie here in Norman, Maine. The Sooners 7-all. We're in the 1st quarter.
When we started Warby Parker, we just sold glasses, and only online. But people...
And that's the kind of performance that you need.
Trevin Ewing of Maine across the 25, the leg still churning. And he's brought down close to near the 30.
One more look at that tremendous move, sidesteps a safety. And when you're the safety, you're the last line of defense. You have to come up under control, and you can't come in trying to get the big hit because a guy like Barnes will juke you.
Javonte Barnes now with 81 yards rushing, a season high. Keep this in mind. Neither one of these teams have had a 100-yard rusher or receiver this season.
Barnes might have something to say about that today.
Ryan Santana Fiss in the backfield along with Carter Peavy. 2 tight ends for Maine. Through the air again, and that's complete. That's Mo Arifin.
Have you ever been to Maine?
Have never been.
Oh, you got to go. Bar Harbor, beautiful place. Went there this summer.
Yeah.
Great lobster, close to the Acadia National Park. Fantastic. We were told by the head coach today that a lot of families who come to visit their players go and stay in Bar Harbor and then go to the university about an hour's drive away.
1st and 10. This is Fiss. Bounces it to the outside. Maybe a yard.
Too much speed.
Peyton
Too much
Bowen
speed. Yep.
Brought him down.
Inside out. Peyton Bowen coming from the inside, showing his speed to leave that as nothing more than a pickup of 1 or 2.
2nd and 8.
Peavy has had 4 games where he's completed 70% or more of his passes. He can be incredibly accurate.
Bunch set to the top of your screen. Peavy keeps it and got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was it.
Yeah, and here they are, 3rd and long again. And this is the situation that they have to avoid. And They've mixed it up a little bit on first down, but I think to be successful today, they're going to have to throw it more on first down. They can't run first and second down against this defense and hope to be in any better position than they are now. This is a tough spot. This is where the pressure shows up.
Maine is 1 for 2 on third down. They've had a lot of third and longs here thus far. And they're going to call a timeout.
First charge timeout, Maine.
You can see Carter Peavy did not like the way the guys were lined up. We got 4:49 left here in the first quarter. We're all tied up at 7 here in Norman. On Military Appreciation Day here at Gaylord Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. Maine, Oklahoma facing each other for the first time. And it's 3rd and 9 for the Black Bears. 1 of 2 on third down. They faced a 3rd and 9 and a 3rd and 7 already here in the first quarter. Peavy flushed. Plenty of room if he wants to run it. And he's maybe about 2 yards shy of that line to gain. Probably should have took off a little sooner.
Yeah, probably should have made that decision. You know, they sent Moss in motion, and then Peavy immediately identified zone coverage. And so he had to adjust to that and see, okay, where's the hole? He didn't find one. He kept waiting for it, but had he just taken off, he might have had a chance to get that first down.
Aiden Cahogan. Punt things away. Peyton Bowman standing back at his own 10. And down at the 16. Well, tonight at 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central on the SEC Network, we'll have 120th border battle. Kentucky, Tennessee. It's also available on the ESPN app, so that means you can watch it anywhere. Tennessee now ranked 7th.
Happen, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Kentucky rise up and make that a real close game.
And especially with the college football playoff rankings coming out on Tuesday. On the ground, it's Barnes.
Well, rushing the football is a pretty good approach for an offensive line that has struggled to protect the passer. Gives them an opportunity to be physical, to be aggressive, to get some confidence, and to move players around.
To the outside, that's J.J. Hester. You talked about the offensive line coming into this season. Oklahoma had no returning offensive linemen or tight ends.
Yeah, and it has shown. 10 different starters in the offensive line this season.
Arnold slings it out to Barnes, and Barnes tripped up at the 42-yard line.
Now the challenge from Maine's defense is to recognize that this is a quick and short passing attack. And you need to really focus on jumping, corralling those short routes. The quick passing game, the RPO game, Oklahoma has not shown an ability to throw the intermediate or the deep routes. And they're going to need that the last 3 games of the season, but Maine needs to really adjust and really jump on the shorter routes.
This is the freshman Taylor Tatum. He's out of Longview, Texas, seeing his first action of the afternoon.
You know, Maine is punching above its weight class and taking on Oklahoma here.
Hester, and he's in the Black Bears territory.
Oklahoma, tempo going fast. It is a bigger, stronger offensive line facing a little bit of an undersized defensive front.
They keep it on the ground. And Tatum again Again, he's the freshman, also plays on the baseball team. He plays both sports. He's going to be the center fielder for Oklahoma this season.
And as you would expect, has really good hands, because when you're a center fielder, you know how to track that ball down and make catches, and that translates to catching the football.
DeMarco Murray, now the running back coach here at Oklahoma, says he has the potential to be the quarterback of the future. To the outside, that was for Hester, but overshoots him.
You know, because that's the thing we've been talking about. Making plays down the field. They really haven't gotten much production out of the wide receivers. I mean, they'd be happy to have Deion Burks back. That would help. But they struggle. And this is another third down situation where you would like to see your wide receivers step up.
3rd and 7. On the ground, Xavier Holmes makes the stop on Tatum. They're going to be about 4 yards shy. Let's see, well, Coach Venables, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer decision. You're at the 40. The analytics say go for it in this situation.
4th and 4 for Oklahoma. They go 4 wide. Arnold throws quickly over the middle, and that's complete. First down. They're like Jacob Jordan.
Yeah, it was. And the guy covering him, Kamar, gave him too much room. You have to be situationally aware. Know where the first down marker is.
Arnold to the outside to Brennan Thompson. You see, he motioned to him, and hey, look, they looked at each other, and he said, no.
And this is his game. I mean, Arnold loves the quick passing game. Get it out quickly, and he's accurate with the football. That's why if you're Maine, you can't play far off and then
timeout for an injured player. Timeout for an injured player.
Matt Loeffler is our official, and you can see that was Troy Everett. He's the transfer out of Appalachian State.
He's finally back in the lineup.
Yes.
He's been a key guy who's been missing up front that Oklahoma was thrilled to get him back on the field today.
So that means Branson Hickman have to replace him as center. He's the transfer out of SMU. 2nd and 4 from the Maine 27. On the ground, maybe a yard for Tatum.
Notice how Tatum does a nice job of avoiding a loss, fighting for the extra yards. Good running back.
That will be the final play of the first quarter. So it'll be 3rd down for Oklahoma. They're all tied up at 7. Playing Maine for the first time in program history. We'll be back here in Norman. Third down. We're tied up at 7. We begin the second quarter. Oklahoma at the Maine 25-yard line. This is the 12th play of this drive. They keep it on the ground. And Tatum breaks it to the outside. Cuts back. And brought down inside the 10. Kristen Thomas makes the stop.
His ability to sidestep and move laterally changes everything. That play was stopped up inside, and he was able to veer out.
Going with tempo. Again, they keep it on the ground. Tatum brought down at the 7. Keep in mind, Oklahoma's only averaged like 116 yards rushing.
And they went for that $147 last week and got some confidence, and they're trying to add on to that today by really emphasizing the run.
Already at 125 on the ground. And more. Down to the 1 is Tatum.
Great lateral movement again. He's going to be a special running back.
They say the running back of the future.
He was the #1 high school running back last year, and there he is.
And caps it off for a touchdown, Oklahoma. "15 plays, 84 yards. Jack Schmidt in for the extra point. And the Sooners take their first lead of the game now, 14-7. And boy, have they been getting it done running the football.
Yeah, it really has been a tandem approach with Barnes and Tatum, and they both have been outstanding. And this is the thing. Look at what they've done on the season, an average of 117 per game. 132 already today, and expected. They should be able to run the ball against Maine. They're physically superior, stronger, bigger. You would expect that. The other thing that we're going to look to see is, do they improve on the passing attack? That is something Oklahoma is going to need in their next 3 games. They're not going to be able to show up and just run over their next 3 opponents, Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. They're going to have that intermediate and that deep passing attack.
Well, one of the things that the new offensive coordinator, John Finley, who, again, was the tight ends coach, first time for him ever calling plays. This is Trevin Ewing from his own 1. Oh, and he's brought down at the 10.
You can feel the momentum starting to flow for Oklahoma. Defense gets a stop. Offense, 15-play drive, they get a touchdown. Special teams comes up with a big play. Good tackle to put Maine back up in the shadow of their own goalpost. So momentum now is starting to roll with Oklahoma. So Maine is in trouble if they can't respond.
Well, let's see what Mikhail Waters, offensive coordinator of Maine, and his Black Bears can do. Jahari Martin's in the backfield. They go with 2 tight ends from their own 13. Peavy gives it to Martin, and he runs into a Boomer Sooner brick wall into Sam McCullough.
Well, again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but the strength of this defense is the run defense and attacking the quarterback on 3rd down. And you keep running into that wall on 1st down, you're playing right into the hands of Brent Venables and the Oklahoma defense, because nobody is more creative about pass rush and mixing up coverages on 3rd down than Brent Venables.
Zach Alley, one of the defensive coordinators, along with Todd Bates and Jay Valai. Peavy throwing on the run and complete. Mason Gilbert. He's a guy at 6'7", 6'8", big target.
Great catch. Yeah, I mean, that ball was a bit behind him, and he reached back and got it. That's a huge 1st down for Maine, a chance to get some momentum going. But Gilbert, you mentioned 6'8", 255. That was pretty athletic.
He'll go with tempo here. And he'll give it to Martin. Maybe a yard. Second and 9 coming. And again, Maine said one of their main keys offensively, be efficient on 1st, 2nd down here, because they want to be 3rd and long.
Not working. Haven't been efficient on 1st and 2nd down. This is another situation where, you know, you can't run the ball inside and make it 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8.
Maine to go with 2 tight ends. Heisey in motion. Watch the pressure off the back. Peavy escapes. Throws. Back to Heisey, who's down right there at the 24. Flag, though, on the play. Here's Matt Loeffler.
Holding, offense number 82. The penalty is declined. Third down.
That was Heisey who made the catch.
Yeah, smart decision to decline this. And how Peavy got out of this is beyond me. I mean,
At the tackle.
I guess the tackle helped him, huh? I mean, if you tackle a guy when he's about to sack your quarterback, that'll help.
That was Eli Bowen who was coming in, applying the pressure. Tavion Banks is checked into the backfield for Maine. Peavy rolling out, flag. Looks like there's going to be another hold. And then maybe Heisey again.
Well, see, this is the problem. When you get in that 3rd and long.
Holding, offense number 82. That penalty is declined. It is 4th down.
It's asking these guys too much to try and block these speed rushers and these athletic guys coming off the edge. And you see again, Heisey just grabbing and manhandling the guy. You have to make something on 1st down to give yourself a chance and avoid that long 3rd down situation.
Aiden Cadigan, Peyton Bowen back deep for Oklahoma. And they put mounds of pressure on that one. Bowen. Ooh, he's hit at the 40. That's where the Sooners will take over from their own 40 in the 2nd quarter. Oklahoma up 7. In the 2nd quarter, 7-point lead for Oklahoma. It's a good look at their new offensive coordinator, Joe John Finley. He's the new offensive coordinator. You know, one of the things he told us was, he said, compared to what I was seeing early on to what I've tried to do is, number one, create positive plays on 1st and 2nd down and then go more up-tempo. We've seen that going more up-tempo.
We have, and those rankings, to put it bluntly, are just awful. And so they had to do something, and Brent Venables fired Seth Luttrell and replaced him with Joe John Finley.
Play action and incomplete. Had it, dropped it, was Brennan Thompson.
Don't you feel like this is sort of an audition for him as the new offensive coordinator, Joe John Finley? And it's a tough situation for him because he's close friends with the guy who was fired.
Yeah, Seth Luttrell. Positive plays on 1st and 2nd down. He's looking at a 2nd and 10. Sam Franklin now in the backfield for Oklahoma. He's the transfer out of Tennessee Martin. And here's Sam I Am. Good 4-yard pickup to the 44.
We have not seen Bauer Sharp, tight end who is the leading receiver for Oklahoma. We've not seen him even really be targeted yet.
Arnold runs out of the pocket. He's got a 1st down. And brought down at the 41 by Robbie Ryobi.
Arnold is more aggressive in his decision-making about running. He doesn't waste a whole lot of time.
Oh, look at that snap. Way over the head. And Arnold will take it and just throw that thing away.
Well, he might get a flag. I don't think that ball crossed the line of scrimmage. Total miscommunication
no
here.
intent to the ground. The quarterback was outside the pocket and got the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Yeah, so no grounding. He was outside the pocket. It wasn't clear that, at least initially, whether the ball had passed the line of scrimmage. So great play to save a lot of yardage by Arnold.
Back to pass again. Plenty of time. Got a man open. As Jacob Jordan brought down at the 20.
That is pass protection. This offensive line has been maligned most of the season. But this is a long, slow, developing cross-country route. And Arnold had all the time in the world.
He keeps it this time. Here's a flag. He's brought down at the 19. That was a 24-yard pickup, that pitch and catch to Jordan.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Heath Ozida.
Ozida is the left guard. Been some shuffling around with that offensive line. They're playing 3 tackles this week. Rotating folks. But there he is, left side of your screen. A little grabby.
Again, Arnold keeping it, and again, Arnold using the legs. He gets down to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more.
You can see the difference in speed and athleticism with Oklahoma's offense against this defense. Any amount of space, they're able to really use and take advantage of.
Arnold with 29 yards rushing. Got split backs, Barnes and Franklin. They go to the option. And a fumble. And it's Maine who comes up with it. First turnover of the game, and it's Jaden Curry who recovers it for the Black Bears.
It didn't look in real time like that was a bad pitch. And it looked like, to me, like the pitch was in a good spot. But thinking about running before you get the ball. Big turnover. Maine is still in this thing.
The Sooners in their 4 wins, they've outscored their opponents 56-6 off the turnovers. But in their 4 losses, take a look. They've been outscored 41-0. First turnover of the game, and it's Maine looking to capitalize.
Well, and the other thing is that turnover lost opportunity, lost points opportunity for Oklahoma because of where it occurred in the red zone.
Last 6 games for Oklahoma, including today, they're -7 when you talk about the turnover margin. Diamond. And that's incomplete as Peavy was looking to throw it to Eli Mahan. This is the guy they got to get the football to. Tego Moss.
And look, first down, they haven't been able to do anything. 2.7 yards per play. You got to get over 3 yards on first down if you're going to stay on schedule. And part of that means having Moss on the field and getting the ball to him. I mean, he is their guy. And he's only been targeted twice in this game so far. 1 catch for 8 yards.
Carter Peavy, 7 for 11, 40 yards and 1 touchdown. He'll keep it and gets upended. It was Eli Bowen who took his legs out.
And here we are again. 3rd and long. And the question becomes, how do you block our Mason Thomas on the edge? How do you deal with any of the linebackers who might show and come in this situation?
Maine is 1 for 4 on 3rd down so far in this game. And all 3 of these 3rd downs have been at least 3rd and 7.
Showing pressure, simulated.
Peavy Levy throwing to the outside, looking incomplete. He was looking at Tigo Moss.
He had him out there, but was under duress. Now you see Moss runs this corner route. A little bit more accurate ball, he can make that play.
And I'm looking, there's two receivers there going to the same direction.
Can't happen.
Someone
can't happen. Blown assignment.
Maine punted away from their own end zone. Peyton Bowen standing at his own 35. Short kick.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that thing goes out of bounds around the 40.
That is
Maine.
like a turnover.
Well, tonight, SEC football final. You got Dari Nokwa, you got Chris Doering, you got Benjamin Watson. They'll take you through the biggest stories of the day. They can, of course, break down all the SEC games. Comes your way to 9/11 Eastern, 10 Central on the SEC Network, and you can catch it on the ESPN app as we take a look at the SEC teams all ranked in that top 25. Keep in mind the college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday.
You might have 7 or 8 SEC teams in the discussion, but no more than 4 will wind up in that ranking.
23-yard punt. Here goes Javonte Barnes. He's got 100 yards of rushing. Down the sideline and out of bounds. Inside the 10.
A staple of the Oklahoma run game for years, the counter. They pull a guard and a tight end. Come around, outnumber Maine with blockers and patiently waiting to find his hole to Barnes.
Over the right side to Barnes again. Still legs turning. And they're going to mark him down at the 1. Javonte Barnes now with over 100 yards rushing. First time this season Oklahoma has done that.
Commitment to getting the rushing game established, and Barnes is doing it.
And he'll just walk in as Jackson Arnold. As he gives a military salute. And the Sooners up now 20-7.
He's got to go shake the hand of his man Barnes, because Barnes had a tremendous fake and took a wicked hit. And that was the reason Arnold was all by himself.
Jack Schmidt in for the extra point. So Oklahoma turns over the football, gets a stop, and then Javonte Barnes, a 29-yard run, sets up this Jackson Arnold for 6, and it's the Sooners up 21-7. Remember Gavin Shawchuck, who's out today because of a quad injury. He ran for 134. That was against Arizona.
I think that 134 is going to be surpassed.
Let's go down to the field. Here's Lauren.
Hey guys, Military Appreciation Day here, and Robert Spears Jennings having the honor to run the flag out onto the field today. His mother, Flo Treese, and his father, Markello Jennings, both served in the military. So growing up, he moved around a lot. He told me that moving around to 8 different states really helped him become more coachable, more adaptable. And it's all about discipline. So here's 2 things that he lives by. You see him on his cleats. The first one, the first saying, stick to the script. God's already got your life scripted out. Head down, keep working, stick with it. On the other cleat, you're going to see, I need one. And that one comes from his mother, Flo Treese, always saying when she needs a big play from him, you can hear her shouting it out in the stands. And those sayings you'll see on each of his cleats, as I mentioned. 2 things he lives by, and we want to thank his mother and father and all our military men and women for their service. to our country.
Amen to that. He certainly turned into a vocal leader. That's complete to Joe Gillette. What a job Robert Spears Jennings has done as far as leadership. Last 6 games he started, had round up about 41 tackles for Oklahoma. Had 6 of those against Tennessee alone.
And it doesn't matter how loud the stadium is, you always know where mom is sitting, and you know her voice.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter.
2 tight ends. 2nd and 6 here from Maine. Peavy got pressure up the middle. Eludes it and throws it away. That was Kobe McKenzie, who came in and applied the pressure, and Peavy got rid of it.
Well, the speed and quickness of these pass rushers is a bit too much for Maine. And Maine's on the ropes right now. They are on the ropes. If this were a boxing match right now, you might be saying that they're a punch away from being knocked out.
Looking at 3rd down, 1 for 5.
They have to get this third down, because the way the momentum is rolling for Oklahoma, they don't get a first down here. It'll be a short field again for the Oklahoma offense.
Peavy throwing. That one, Moss, first down.
Moss is, I can't imagine how tough it was for him to play athletics, to play the same position as his dad, a Hall of Famer. No matter what he does in that comparison, is never going to be enough. And, he's handled that kind of pressure growing up as Randy Moss's son very, very well.
We've seen his brother do it upward at LSU.
Yep. Not as tall as Dad. He's 6'1". Dad is 6'4".
See what both of them did in their senior season. Tavion Banks in the backfield. Peavy back on the roll, throws it back to Heisey, incomplete.
He threw it right into coverage where Kenai Walker was just standing. He was just a rolled up corner, playing his spot out in the flat in the perfect position to make a hit. And he's probably looking like, he's not throwing the ball over here. I'm standing right here. He's really going to throw it?
2nd down and long for Maine from their own 41. On the ground is Banks to the 45.
What does Maine do to give Peavy a little bit more protection? You use an extra tight end. You have your running backs chip on the outside. Do you move the pocket? They have to do something to get Peavy a little bit more time.
And if you're Maine, you want to talk about the urgency to score here.
Yep.
You defer, you get the ball to begin the 2nd half. You want to go into the half with a score and then come out and get the football again.
That's right. Big 3rd down for Maine.
4:30 on the clock. Peavy under pressure, throws. Here's Banks. Eludes one sooner. And he's maybe about 2 yards shy of a first down. Another big decision here for head coach Jordan Stevens.
Not much of a decision. He's got to go get this. They cannot turn the ball back over to an Oklahoma offense that is rolling right now. This is a chance to pick up a first down and to stay connected. They are on the ropes right now.
And they're going to decide to punt it away.
Wow. We'll see what the remaining 4 minutes brings, but I can understand he doesn't want to miss it and give Oklahoma a short field. But I feel like you got to go get that one.
So Oklahoma have certainly been getting it done running the football against Maine.
Well, and it's a big thing because they've struggled mightily running the football, and that made everything tougher. It made the quarterback job tougher. But Barnes, we saw this coming last week. He ran really well against Ole Miss. Only 67 yards rushing, but it was the way he ran the football. And as we talked to the staff this week, they had the same reaction, that he really ran well, and they were really confident that he is establishing himself as the go-to running back.
Oklahoma with 199 yards on the ground. That's the most they've had in the first half. You got to go back to 2019 when they had 228 against UCLA. Under pressure was Arnold, and that pass is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tatum, and Jermaine Baker was the guy applying the pressure to Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, and if Baker's eyes, I'm sorry, not Baker, if Curry, 17, if his eyes are following the ball, he's got a pick. And he was focused on the running back. I understand that, but if he's paying attention, that's a pick right there.
Arnold, plenty of time. Now flushed out of the pocket. Throws on the run. He's got a man. He's got it. J.J. Hester is going to the house. 90 yards. J.J.'s last touchdown catch 3 years ago against Missouri.
This was a scramble drill. Arnold extended the play, and Hester did exactly what a good receiver should do. Get to your quarterback's vision, go deep. Either you're coming back to the quarterback or you're going deep.
Extra point is good. And I go back to when Maine made the decision to punt the football. You said that's because it's an Oklahoma offense that is rolling. You don't want to give them back the football.
Nope, and you got Arnold who extends the play, and you see at the top of the screen, Hester recognizes that he's got his quarterback coming to his side. Scramble drill, they do it in practice all the time, so he goes deep, and Arnold gets it out to him. And listen, we said that Maine was on the ropes. That might have been your knockout punch.
That's the first 90-yard completion for Oklahoma since 1995. Eric Moore to P.J. Mills. That was against Iowa State.
That is something Oklahoma's staff has been waiting for a long time. A big play in the passing game.
Well, here comes Carter Peavy and the Maine Black Bears. They've got 3 minutes.
Well, your earlier point still is relevant here. You've got 3:16 to do something, and then you get the ball to start the third quarter. So you have to make something happen here. They like to be deliberate. At 3:16 is plenty of time for most teams. I'm not sure it is for Maine.
You got a couple of timeouts. And you got the 2-minute timeout.
Yep.
So in essence, you got 3.
Yep.
To go 75 yards.
And the last thing they can do is go 3 and out and give Oklahoma the ball again.
Under center. End around. Jet sweep. That's Trevin Ewing.
Let's see if they go hurry up here, or if they're going to be deliberate and just let the clock burn. I think it looks like they're going to be deliberate. And for Maine and their head coach, Jordan Stevens, the worst thing is giving the ball back to the offense. So they want to eat up this last 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Diamond formation again. And a flag.
False start. Offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. It is second down.
Now for Oklahoma defensively, your approach might change now that you have a 2nd and long here. How do you get some pressure? And you've got 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. You want that ball back.
Coming up on the 2-minute timeout. Peavy looking left, throwing, incomplete. He was looking at Mo Arison.
He wasn't open.
Eli Bowen was all over. That's your best cover corner.
Yep, and he was all over that. It wasn't even close. I mean, you cannot cover better than this. He is in position. One more step. He might have stepped in front of that thing.
3rd down. 3rd and 8. 2 for 7 on 3rd down is Maine. They bring pressure. Peavy, sack. Danny Stutzman, he's their stud.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
Their leading tackler, heart and soul of the defense, comes up with the sack. Oklahoma 3rd in the SEC as he came off that left side.
He is so aggressive. Little twist inside. Projected 1st-round pick. Shows you why. Oklahoma in control.
Welcome back to Norman, 28-7. Okay, hey, Nana. Look, they hadn't had days like this in a while.
Nah.
It's been a few weeks since they've seen that here in Norman. Up 21, and Maine looking to punt things away.
I go back to that 4th and 2. Maine decided to punt instead of going for it.
5th straight punt from Maine. Bowen from his own 42 gets out the midfield. Now, I'll tell you why. One of the reasons why you said they were probably being deliberate on their last offensive possession, Maine, well, because Oklahoma's offense, last 2 touchdown strikes, 49 seconds, 23 seconds.
Yeah. Oklahoma's 2-minute drill has been pretty good lately. It was good last week. Jackson Arnold has been on fire, continuing the great play he showed last week. Quick passing game, the ability to scramble. It's all been good.
Barnes is back in the backfield.
The middle of the field is wide open.
And Arnold, he's looking at it. He's looking at Thompson. Incomplete.
He recognized it. And he saw that the safety moved out of the middle, man coverage, and when you get that look, you have to throw the ball to the middle of the field.
Before the Tennessee game, where he was benched, you know, he did not throw for 200 yards, and it threw 3 picks in 3 straight games.
Yep.
But he's thrown for over 400, 3 TDs, no interceptions over the last 2 games, yep. Jackson Arnold.
They're asking him to do only what he's comfortable with now, and that's the quick passing game and the RPO game.
This is Barnes. Oh, he's running hard.
$1:35. They have plenty of time. Still have their 3 timeouts.
Barnes with 128 on the ground and more.
That left side of the offensive line, Logan Howland, Jacob Sexton, doing a really great job on that last play.
15 more. That one to the outside, incomplete to Jordan. Barnes now with 143 yards rushing. even more. He's got a new career high, Javonte Barnes.
You think that might build a little confidence for this offense?
Should be. From the 15, Arnold looking, throwing. That's Bauer Sharp, the tight end. He's inside the 10.
Well, look at there. We've been waiting for Bauer Sharp all day to show up. He is a tremendous tight end. Great size, catches the ball well, really good blocker, leads the team in receptions. He's been the go-to guy while they've waited for the wide receivers to become more productive.
Under a minute left in this half.
They can still run the ball. They've got all 3 timeouts.
Arnold to the option. Barnes. Javonte. Touchdown.
Too much speed. Too much speed, too much athleticism on this Oklahoma offense compared to Maine. Barnes just showing you he can outrun the defense.
Minute 17 is what it took Oklahoma. The score 6.
This game was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Since then, Oklahoma has gone on a 28-0 run.
Down to the field, here's Lauren.
All right, and you look at the scoreboard, 35-7, and really the goals have certainly shifted for the start of the season. Now 4-4, Oklahoma at risk of not making a bowl game for the first time since 1998, y'all. They hold the longest bowl-eligible streak in the country behind just Georgia. And guys, the road ahead isn't easy. After today, we got Missouri, LSU on the road. Then there's Alabama back here at home. But Coach Venables told us, look, today's about us. It's about building confidence. It's celebrating even the smallest victories and knowing they can and will work their way back to the standard of football that has been created here at Oklahoma.
ESPN Analytics, Lauren, says the Sooners have a 61% to reach 6 wins or more. You talked about it. They have appeared in a bowl game in each of the past 25 seasons. Second longest active streak in the FBS behind Georgia, who has 27 straight seasons. And this is what they're facing after the Maine Black Bears today. They've got on the road to Missouri, they've got Alabama, and they've got to go to Death Valley to take on LSU.
Not an easy road at all, which is why this game is so important to get Oklahoma to 5 wins, and then they'd have to get 1 out of the last 3 to be bowl eligible. Hard to think that we're talking about Oklahoma just trying to become bowl eligible.
Yeah.
That is a marked change in difference.
Maine will get the ball to begin the second half, but Oklahoma, 21 points in the last 6 minutes. 4 touchdowns have come on the ground. You know, they only had 7 in the first 8 games. They got 4 of them in this quarter. And they're up 35-7 here at the half in Norman. Looking to put an end to that losing streak. They're up 28 here at the half.
Welcome into the SEC Halftime Report. Good to have you with us, those of you Sooner fans and you perhaps some Maine Black Bear fans. Good to have you on the SEC Network as well. That's Chris Doring. That is Benjamin Watson. I know a lot of you Mainers are Patriot fans, and you remember that man awfully well. Yes, indeed. Dari Noka here. All right. So we're half in Norman right now. Hopefully everything's good, the weather, and move on out of the way. But let's get into some action coming up a little bit later. South Carolina hosting Texas A&M. You look, is there an opportunity for the best team in this league record-wise to get upset? Perhaps there is. Let's get you set for that one.
resounding comeback from the Aggies alone atop the Southeastern Conference.
The Aggies can feel it. The momentum that has taken them to first place and the pressure to stay there.
You know, you look at the first half, and rarely will you say a punt is the turning.
For the younger receivers that are in, but he said we got to tighten up our coverage, we got to tackle better, make them earn their stuff, and he said take care of the football and create some more explosive plays. That's what he wants to see from this football team here in the second half.
Well, Javonte Barnes is certainly giving them explosive plays. He's got 158 yards rushing alone by himself, a career high for him. Listen, that's the most by a Sooner in the first half. Got to go all the way back to 2015 and Samaje Perine when he ran for 222 against Kansas.
Yeah, you know, but what I want to see from this offense, though, I want to see them give this offensive line a chance to pass protect. You know, they're not going to run for 236 against Alabama, LSU, Missouri. So this is expected today against an FCS opponent. But what they need some work on is pass protection, get that offensive line comfortable doing some of it, and getting the ball to their wide receivers. That's what they're going to need if they're going to win, 2-3 games in November against their SEC competition.
And this is what Oklahoma has done on their drive chart as they get ready to kick things away to Maine. Of course, Maine in the FCS, in the Colonial.
And for those who don't pay close attention,
the
FBS 85 scholarships, 63 with FCS. And that's the thing you really need to know. And then when you think about teams and how they're constructed, there's usually a big size difference between the defensive line, offensive line, and the FBS and the FCS. You can find enough skill players that are comparable, even quarterbacks. There have been quarterbacks drafted highly out of the FCS.
Maine has, since that opening scoring drive, 6 straight punts on the ground. Martin. He's brought down at the 30. Oklahoma is 9-0 in program history against FCS programs.
As they should be. That's expected. When FCS programs jump up to play Power 4, Power 5 teams, and the big boys with the brand names, they get a nice check to show up, and they're expected to hopefully play hard but not win those games. That's the reason they schedule them.
Peavy again to Martin. Little counter play. Fumbles the football, and it's Oklahoma who comes up with it. Robert Spears-Jennings.
Because, they look at every play. Did the ball come out after he hit the ground? No, it didn't. I don't think so at all. There was a good strip there on the tackle from behind. I mean, when you strip and recover, that is a play that will get you a lot of attention.
Lauren Sisler told us about Robert Spears-Jennings. Of course, his mother in the military. He's turned into the vocal leader of this defense and making a play there. 2 tight ends here for Jackson Arnold in Oklahoma. Here's Javonte, bounces it to the outside, shakes a man, gets inside the 30-yard line. He's about a yard shy of a first down. Christian Thomas makes the stop.
I think he might have a 200-yard day. I mean, he has made guys miss in open space. And that's what you want a good running back to do. You cannot simply gain what is blocked. You have to get more, and you have to make a guy miss.
Got an injury on the field. One of the main players is down. We'll check on him, and we'll be back. Jackson Arnold last week went 22 of 31 for 182 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. Look at what he's done here today. 9 of 15 for 166 and 2 more tutties.
I think he's starting to feel like he's the guy. I mean, Brent Venables told us yesterday, he's the guy right now. He's the guy going forward. So having your head coach give you that kind of confidence after being benched for a couple weeks is a big thing.
2nd and 1. Through the air, and that's complete to Bauer Sharp, the tight end. Driven out of bounds at the 21.
You know, the quarterback position has been a sensitive situation since last December when Dylan Gabriel said he was going to the NFL. Didn't like the grade he got. He decided to come back, and the first thought was he was coming back to Oklahoma. But that raised an issue about Arnold and his expectations to play this year. So Gabriel went to Oregon.
And Arnold steps up in the pocket, slings it to the outside. Carry on.
And Arnold had the great Alamo Bowl last December, which made everyone go, yeah, he's ready. But then this season, he got off to a rocky start.
In comes Michael Hawkins Jr.
Hawkins comes in, has a couple of great games, then a rough game, and now Arnold is back in, and he is taking control of this position.
And here's Javonte. Again, getting to the outside, and again, he's got 6.
He simply refused to be tackled. You are not quick enough, fast enough, tough enough to get me. And does he stay in bounds on his way to the end zone? Right foot, left foot, right foot, he's in.
Good look from the pylon cam. 3rd touchdown of the day for Javonte Barnes to go along with his 186 yards rushing. Sooners pouring it on. 42-7 as Javonte Barnes goes 19 yards to the house. He's running for 200. Sooners up 42-7. Barnes 186 yards on the ground. Career high for him. 3 touchdowns as well, Rod.
Junior out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Desert Pines High School is really starting to take control of this running back spot. His ability to make guys miss has really been on display today.
The running back coach DeMarco Murray told us yesterday, this kid is coming on, and I think is really finding his stride. And he couldn't be more on the point. He came into this game with a 374. Here's Trevin Ewing from his own 15. Gets it to the 25, and that's where Maine will take over. You know, 5 of Oklahoma's 6 touchdown drives have been less than 2 minutes. This last one just 136. And now here's Carter Peavy in Maine, down 35 and looking to go 75 yards. They haven't scored since the opening drive of the game.
Well, we talked about them really having to throw the first punch, which they did. It was just the only punch that they've thrown today. And they really haven't gotten Teagle Moss involved enough in this ballgame. He's in the slot, lower part of the screen, number 81.
Peavy, he's looking for him. And Moss, hit by Billy Bowman, incomplete. He tried to make a one-handed catch.
Yep, he was going for the, my dad makes his catch all the time. And he almost came up with that. I'd go back to him though. I mean, when he's in that slot, and they know that Oklahoma's playing zone, he can run that cross-country route behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties.
Tried the receiver screen, and that's broken up.
Nope. When you are facing man coverage, you cannot throw a wide receiver screen. You know why? The man who is catching the ball is in man coverage. He's going with him into the backfield. You cannot throw a wide receiver screen against man coverage.
Eli Bowen broke that up. So 3rd and long again. Maine 2 for 8 here on 3rd down. Sustaining drives has been a big issue for the Black Bears. On the ground. Santana Fisk.
Nope.
Maybe a yard.
You know who's inside there? That
James
is the
Stutzman?
man. That's the man. He came back this season instead of going to the NFL. And he is projected to be a first-round pick. Comes from an athletic family. His father, Steve, played football. Mother, Susie, played basketball at Baylor. His sister, Sabrina, plays softball at Florida State. So he comes by it honestly. It runs in the family.
3rd straight 3 and out for Maine. Here comes the OU offense, which has just been unstoppable.
How long do you think it is before we see Michael Hawkins, the backup quarterback?
Well, I think this is probably a game where if you're OU, you probably want to give Michael Hawkins some reps. Maybe even the 3rd string quarterback some reps.
Well, I think he will clearly be in for the 4th quarter. But if Oklahoma has one more scoring drive, that might be the day for Arnold.
Here's Barnes. And flags everywhere. Things getting a little chippy there.
Extracurriculars after the play. Look at Eddie Pierre-Louis, 55, the right guard, was in the middle of it.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 55 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. It is 2nd down.
You know how that happens. Offensive linemen like to hustle behind the play and try and clean up anybody standing around. They like to take shots. Well, that used to be okay back in the day, but they changed the rule on that, several years ago. You go clean up piles like that as an offensive lineman, that's a personal foul.
Cost them 15, push them back. It'll be 2nd and 17. Arnold's going to keep it. Dragged out of bounds. That'll draw a flag. Got to let him go. Shakur Smalls.
You're exactly right. It's dangerous over there. A lot of things, a lot of people.
There is no foul for a horse collar tackle. It's 3rd down.
I didn't realize they thought it was a horse collar. I thought he simply had. He took him to the ground out of bounds.
Okay, you let it go and they grabbed the jersey.
Yeah. I thought it was taking him to the ground out of bounds when he was clearly out.
Crowd didn't like it, but it's 3rd and 13. 5 of 7 on 3rd down is Oklahoma. And take a look at what Maine's doing defensively. Changed the play. And now I've got 3 seconds to get it off. And they'll call timeout.
Now, I'm not sure I like that call.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
So you can do the horse collar so long as you let go. That might be the first break that Maine has caught all day. And that's what
Coach Venables talking
that's what
about.
he's saying. It's like, look, you don't have to take him to the ground. I mean, the fact that you grab the collar. I got you by the horse collar. I would have called that one.
Oklahoma looking at a 3rd and 13 here from their own 30. We had talked about the offensive line issues, and they've given up going into this game a total of 39 sacks, 25 of them in the past 3 games. So far today, 0.
They've been maligned all season. They deserve their flowers today. They've been outstanding.
Plenty of protection for Arnold, throwing complete to Brennan Thompson. What a grab as Thompson went up and snatched it.
He showed his athleticism, but if that ball is on target, Thompson turns up the field. He got himself a lot of separation, although I think he kind of hurt himself out there. He came up a little lame, but he got great separation and showed his ability to get up and catch the football.
On the ground, it's Barnes. Across the midfield.
Let me go back to the offensive line for a moment here. They got so much grief, so much criticism the last several weeks. But they have shown today that they can really, really play at a high level and run the football. And it's not just today. We saw signs of this last week against a really good defense at Ole Miss. They showed they could run the football. And today they've built on that. They were expected to be, and they have been dominant against an opponent that they should dominate running the football.
Franklin and Barnes in the backfield. This is Barnes. John Costanza makes the stop for Maine.
I personally still want to see this offensive line in more play action and drop back passing situations, because they're going to have to get ready for what's coming in the next 3 weeks, and they won't be able to just line up and push around a defense for what's going to be likely a 300-yard rushing day.
5 wide, empty set. And Arnold dropped at the 45. Jacob Tuiasosopo with the stop.
They're not kicking this one. A little surprised.
Again through the air. And again, a first down to J.J. Hester.
Hester's having himself a day. He had the 90-yard touchdown catch and run in the first half. Comes right back with another catch here. 6'4", 203 pounds. Fifth-year senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Transfer from Missouri. They need him to play like this the remainder of the season.
He's got a career high 112 yards receiving. Barnes plows forward for a couple. So Oklahoma, for the first time this season, with a running back and a receiver with over 100 yards. Through the air, Arnold swings it out. That's Franklin. Out of bounds at the 24, and looks like we've got a Maine player down who made the hit.
Timeout for an injured defensive player.
That was a big hit, and Tatum at 206 pounds delivered the blow on contact.
That looks like Isaiah Watson. He's the corner, the grad out of Baltimore.
The running backs want to finish the run and not accept being tackled. And you see the power with which Franklin finish that run. And that right shoulder of Watson, I think, took the brunt of it. You know, when it comes to tackling, you don't want to receive. You want to hit. You want to hit back. Right? That time, Watson was receiving it, and it was Franklin who was delivering the blow.
3rd and 3. Franklin again. That's a first down. He's inside the 20.
Oklahoma getting some reps for some of the 2nd and 3rd stringers. Franklin showing what he can do after Tatum and Barnes have carried the ball most of the way today.
Franklin's the redshirt junior, the transfer out of Tennessee Martin. He's more of the speed guy. We talk about their running backs. Here's Arnold. Blocker out in front. He's run out of bounds at the 9.
Can I be nitpicky for a moment? I don't want to run him now. I mean, the game is in hand. I don't want my quarterback of today and my quarterback for the rest of the season to take any hits he doesn't have to. There's no reason to have the quarterback run game operating right now and have him take more hits, in my opinion.
Well, here's Javonte Barnes. He's a yard away from 200. Play fake over the middle. Tip, but caught. Touchdown, Caden Helms. No catches on the season and his first career touchdown.
Good for him. And what an adjustment Helms made on that ball. As you mentioned, it was tipped, so he was expecting the ball in one spot, and then when it got tipped, he had to adjust and reach back for it and came up with it.
Jack Schmidt on once again for the extra point. Jackson Arnold now with 2 touchdown passes through the air. He also has 1 on the ground as well.
Well, Jackson Arnold right off the bat knew where he wanted to go with this football, and it was Helms all the way. And Helms had to adjust to the tip ball. He does a nice job of it. Good effort that time by Couchman, the weak side linebacker, coming right up the middle, getting his hands up. Not enough to knock it down. How do you rate that celebration? On a scale of 10, you get that what? 7?
Yeah.
6.5?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Oklahoma now with touchdowns on their last 5 drives. They're now up 42 on Maine. Down to the field. Here's Lauren.
All right, guys, so you score.
Did you hear, Lauren?
No, I think if we get our mic situation straightened out, and we'll hear from Lauren a little bit later on.
You know, if you're Maine, the one thing you don't want to do is look at the scoreboard. And offensively, you want to get yourself, you know, back on the right track. So it's focus on each play. Don't worry about the scoreboard, but try to find a rhythm.
They're going to go with 2 tight ends. And this is Tavion Banks. Tavion maybe a yard.
This is a very difficult defensive line to run the football against. Dominic Williams is as good as you will find inside at 6'1", 312 pounds. You get Jaden Jackson, who's hardly talked about very much, but he is a freshman just playing outstanding football. He's been incredibly consistent. Watching him on tape, it was hard not to notice him. He's a true freshman.
Maine has had just 3 first downs since that first drive. This is Nick Laughlin.
Now, this is a defensive line that has been dominant today, even without Ethan Downs, playing on the edge. Downs, who is the starter at one defensive end, was scratched from the lineup just before game time.
Had back spasm.
Yeah. And Caden Willard has stepped in. And we've seen the depth of this defensive line today. A lot of different players in there, but same result. They've been shutting down any rushing attack by the Black Bears.
Third and 5 from Maine. Here comes pressure, and they got him.
Who didn't get there? There were so many shirts there. David Stone, the freshman, who's 6'3", 295, was the one who gets the tackle. But there's so many gray shirts in there. I mean, Willard, number 90, was being close, so he was being held. Otherwise, he might have gotten the sack on his own. But no time to find the man who was wide open, Mr. Moss.
Second sack of the afternoon. Bowen from his own 37. Bowen up the gut. Bowen got one man to meet. Bowen brought down at the 15, but a flag is down.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 38. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It is first down.
Right in the middle of the screen, blocking, actually holding on number 50 for Maine. Easy call for the officials. Quarterback change.
Well, you said you want to see no more hits.
Yep.
On your quarterback, you will not see any more hits on Jackson Arnold because here comes Michael Hawkins. He's the freshman out of Dallas. They'll keep it on the ground for Javante Barnes, who's now got over 200 on the day. So here's Hawkins, 4-star talent. He played in that Tennessee game for the benched Arnold. He started against Auburn, won that game on the road. Played against Texas, started South Carolina, and then he got to the bench, and Arnold, of course, spelled him in that game. His father played corner for Bob Stoops here at Oklahoma.
Speaking of Bob Stoops, he is here at this game. We saw him just before kickoff. He's in his suite up here watching the game, even though his son no longer plays for Oklahoma. He said, I got to watch my guys so he doesn't miss a home game.
Here's Taylor Tatum. And he's in Maine territory. Meanwhile, Javante Barnes with 203 yards rushing. He's the first Sooner to run for over 200 since 2022.
He should be done for the day also.
And Hawkins will take off. One of the best young dual threat quarterbacks.
So that raises the question about handling the delicate quarterback position going forward if you're Brent Venables. You have Arnold is your guy, But Hawkins has played a couple games this year, and he's got great talent, great potential. And how do you manage that going forward without losing one of these two quarterbacks to the transfer portal?
That play is blown up. You know, one of the things that he said when we talked to him about that was, I tell him very honestly, I need you. I need both of you because I'm going to need you at any time. Injuries can happen at any point, or there may be a time where I need a quarterback that can run it.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing he tells him, which is really valid, is look, whether it's here at Oklahoma or somewhere else in the NFL, no job's going to be handed to you.
Yes.
You got to go compete, so you can't run from competition.
There you go. He's going to run with it here. You can see the talent he's got.
Oh, man.
When he's carrying that football.
Well, you see what he does with his legs. But that throw he made earlier showed you how strong of an arm he has with that long throw to the sideline. He is athletic, very quick, as good as any receiver running with the ball after the catch. But he's got a golden arm to go along with it. He just needs reps.
Split backs. Hawkins keeps it again. He'll run out of bounds.
He has a younger brother, Malik. They're basically 1 year apart, a little bit more than that. And he's a 4-star. He committed to Oklahoma as a defensive back. That might help the theory of his brother Michael, the quarterback here, sticking around Oklahoma.
On the ground. This is Franklin.
This is all going the right way for Oklahoma. That's a combination of an offensive line giving you really good blocking, and then the running back doing his job of getting more out of the play than what was blocked for.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter. So we go to the fourth quarter now. And it's Oklahoma up 49-7 on Maine. The fourth quarter when we come back from here in Norman.
Prepare them for the criticism that's going to come as they play this type of football at this level and get them both ready to go, next man up when it's their time.
Well, especially in this day and age of social media. I mean, and you know, they're hearing a lot of people. They get things from students. They're getting things from agents. They're getting things from all kinds of people talking in their ear.
And top quarterbacks, we know from the data over the last several years that more than half of the top quarterbacks that are recruited transfer. That's because they all want to play. They want to be the guy. And you get a couple of top quarterbacks here at Oklahoma, that's an issue you'll have to address going forward, not just this season, but the offseason as well.
Hawkins spins, keeps it, flag. Oh, and he takes a lick at the 5. Bounces up. That's what happens when you're young and you're a freshman. Kenneth Cooper.
Holding. Offense, number 18. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
He delivered the lick on Hawkins.
That was Helms who was holding, but you're absolutely right. Big hit at the end of this. And Hawkins will learn. No need to take that hit when you're heading out of bounds. 1 yard sooner, head to that sideline. Yeah, that looked as painful as you would expect.
Backs him up to the 19, still first and goal. Franklin to the 15.
And the same vibe goes for the defense of Maine, just like the offense. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Think about each play, playing your best, getting a stop. You cannot let the score dictate your energy level or your focus on the field. You do that, you know, you're lost as a player. You cannot let that happen.
Hawkins swings it out to Franklin. One-handed grab. And he's knocked out at the 6.
We are seeing more one-handed catches in college football this year and last year than ever before. The talent level, the skill in the college game has increased dramatically. And some of that is due to the fact that, you know, the last few years we've got guys who started playing 7-on-7 and they were 12 years old. They're really comfortable catching the football.
3rd and goal now. Hawkins looking to the end zone. That one's too hot and behind Zion Kearney.
Hawkins staring it down. Kind of a interesting kind of finish to his throw. Kind of jumped with that instead of striding into it. He had plenty of room to step into that throw. Instead, he kind of jumped and let it go.
So here's Jack Schmidt. This one will be from 24 yards out. He's been perfect on the season when it comes to field goals. And he's still perfect. 50-piece by the Sooners over Maine. There with the beard, Joe John Finley. Take a look at what Oklahoma done in the first 4 SEC games compared to what they've done here the past 2 weeks, Rod.
Well, if he's auditioning, you'd have to say the audition is going very well. Last week, you saw the improvement with the rushing attack. They still had trouble protecting the quarterback. Today, the rushing attack has really shown up. So, 2 weeks, if you want improvement, you've seen the improvement. We'll see where this goes the next couple of weeks, but I'd say that Joe John Finley is off to a good start as the OC. Let me ask you this. You know how the expectations are for this fan base. You think this fan base has the expectation that after the season, Oklahoma goes looking for the biggest name offensive coordinator, or do they look at what Joe John Finley has done and go, oh, we'll be okay with that?
I think probably they'll start outside to see if they can get, like you say, a big fish. But he certainly has delivered here thus far. Keep in mind, you know, this one's against the FCS school, so you would think they would put up big numbers. Peavy throws. That's over the middle and complete.
And Finley is an Oklahoma guy. I mean, he played here, coaches here as an assistant coach, elevated to OC when his good friend Seth Luttrell was fired. So he's a program guy. And when we asked him about auditioning, he was all shucks, you know, I'm trying to do what works for the program.
But I'm with you. I'm really interested to see how this new offense does, especially with the games coming up. Martin spinning for maybe a yard. Down to the field, and here's Lauren.
Yeah, guys, I love what you're talking about there. Joe John Finley talking about changing the way people look at the offense right now. That was the big goal coming into this football game. Want you to look at our offense as these guys are out here playing like maniacs, playing harder than any college football team. He said he played here, that's how they played. He wants it to be seen the same way and wants it to be fun. Because guess what? More success comes when you have fun.
Well, I think that's right, Jimmy, but I don't think fans are going to come away with that feeling. They're going to wait and see next week and the week after that.
2nd and 10, there's a first down. Joe Gillette makes the catch, and Joe Gillette Haven't mentioned him much at all today, but what a story. He's the graduate senior out of Ohio. He's a young man who's battled Hodgkin's lymphoma twice. A couple of battles with chemo, radiation. He also had a stem cell transplant. And yet, still playing. His mother, unfortunately, passed away of cancer this past March. He has been such a leader and inspiration for this Maine football squad.
Maine takes its first time out of the half.
Well, we have the utmost respect and admiration for him and how he inspires others. I mean, you know, we're guys up here in the booth
who might have cancer
who've been through that. We know the battle that he's gone through, and what he's done has just been phenomenal.
He is an inspiration for the team. We'll be back. 11 minutes left here in this football game.
They have the ability to win a number of games throughout the remainder of November.
They go with the end around. Trevor Ewing. Ewing spinning. And he's got a first down for the Black Bears.
Thinking about Carter Peavy, the quarterback who came over from Mercer, grew up in Georgia, played college ball in Georgia, and decided for an extra year he was going to move on over to Maine. Can you imagine going from nice, warm Georgia to spending a winter in Maine?
Yeah, how about that?
He did that.
He did that. Got married in December.
Honey, we're moving to Maine.
Fake the end around. Throwing downfield. Looking. And caught.
A grab.
Joe Gillette.
Wow. What concentration. What a grab.
They call him, nickname him the Jet, and that's why.
He was draped in coverage. It didn't matter. Focus, concentration, and a perfectly thrown ball by Peavy.
He's one of the leaders for what he's battled to stay onto the field, but when he's on it, he delivers for him. 3 tight ends here for the Black Bears, first and goal from the 5.
He beat Jacob Johnson on that long throw.
End around, Laughlin, jet sweep, touchdown. The redshirt freshman with his first career TD.
And he should be excited. You just scored a touchdown against Oklahoma.
In Norman.
One of the big boys, big brands in college football. That is a memory for a lifetime.
Extra point is good. Watch the freshman come off the edge, get the handoff, power his way for 6. 52-13 here in Norman, 14.
52-14, Maine just scored, setting up that touchdown. Joe Gillette with the catch there. And what a fighter he is. We talked about his 2 bouts with cancer, went through chemo treatments, and just kept fighting. His mom, she lost her battle to cancer in March. He went home for a few weeks, but he just came back. He continued to show so much resilience. And guys, he's not the loudest one in the room, but he will outwork you. He's diligent, meticulous, and though quiet, when he makes a play like he just did there, the entire team erupts. Everyone rallies behind him, and everybody wants to be just like Joe.
Well, listen, he transferred in from Lafayette. He was a preseason All-CAA honorable mention. And you're right, they love his work ethic. They said if you've got to work, and they've got a workout schedule at 7, he's in at 6 already. Hitting the weights, doing what he has to do to get ready. And he really was the guy who made the big plays on that last drive.
Yeah, and it was a remarkable catch. He was well covered. The concentration, while he had a defensive back on his back, he still went up and pulled that ball in. And Maine is doing a really good job of continuing to play hard and not paying attention to the scoreboard.
Xavier Robinson, one of the running backs now for Hawkins. And Hawkins looking to air it out and overshoots his receiver.
Yeah, he's going to learn that with a guy on the outside with that kind of speed, you have to give him a chance. You're better off underthrowing it than overthrowing it. You overthrow this, and you got no chance of getting that ball to him. You have to give him a chance.
Zion Reagan is gone. Wasn't fast enough to catch up with that one.
He's only 150 pounds, but Reagan can run.
Robinson.
Reagan's, talk about fast. He runs a 10.37 meters. Has been timed in the 40 at 4.23. That's Randy Moss territory.
Hey, that brother's running.
Do it again. Send him again.
Absolutely. 9 minutes left. That's a first down by Xavier Robinson. 9-yard pickup.
I still think, and this is not pouring on points, in my opinion. I do think that it's still early enough in the game where you need to get these receivers, some work. Because what's happening in the next 3 weeks is going to be pretty serious for Oklahoma.
Over 600 yards of total offense for the Sooners.
Hard to believe that at one point this was a 7-0 game for Maine. It's like Maine fans hope you took a picture of that scoreboard at that point.
Well, it was 7-7 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah. And since then, Oklahoma has taken Maine to the woodshed.
Hawkins swings it out. Robinson. Inside the 15.
He just ran through that tackle. You need to see nothing else except the way he runs through the tackle. You are not going to tackle me. Get out of my way.
Timeout.
Before the snap, Maine calls it second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, after this is where it gets a little hairy for the Sooners. You talk about trying to get 6 wins and become bowl eligible to keep that streak alive. 25 straight seasons where they've been bowl eligible. They got to go to Missouri. It's not easy.
Yeah, and Venables told us, hey, he directly addressed this with the team. He said the goal is to win the last 4. Normally coaches are like, we're just focused on Saturday, who we play Saturday. He's like, no, we got to have a goal. We had a goal at the beginning of the season to win the SEC. That goal is gone, so we have a new goal. The new goal is to win the last 4 and to become bowl eligible.
It looks like they're going to knock off the first win. They're going to need at least one more.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
We knew there was talk about Venables being on the hot seat coming into this weekend. You think this changes anything?
I think this was expected from many around here.
Yep. He obviously says he pays no attention to the outside noise.
Robinson puts his head down, runs over a black bear, and he's brought down.
And remember, Venables was in this situation year 1 when the defense was awful. And then he took control of that, and they responded with a pretty good second half of the season. Last year, won 11 games. So he knows what to do in these situations.
6-7 in his first season. As you pointed out, his second season is when everybody said, okay, we got something here, because they went 10-3 last season.
Yep.
And before getting the job, this is his 3rd season here in Norman. I remember he was, for 9 seasons, he was the DC at Clemson. And before that, 13 seasons here under the visor, Bob Stoops.
Yeah, and in this day and age, things change. As you mentioned, they came back this season without an offensive lineman or tight end who played.
Robinson puts his head down and driven back as he hits the goal line touchdown. First career touchdown for the freshman.
Well, he earned the right to get that touchdown with the way he broke that tackle on the swing pass. Only appropriate that he finishes this drive off. He's a hard-nosed runner, lowers the shoulder, can't knock him down easily. Powerful young man.
Take another look just to review, as they do with all scores.
It's the ball. Does the ball cross the plane? And as soon as it did, officials threw their arms up.
You gotta love what Robinson has done, the true freshman out of Yukon, Oklahoma. Cal Albert High School there. And extra point is good. .59 now 14 Oklahoma.
If you're Oklahoma, everything you wanted, hoped to achieve in this game has happened. Outside of the opening drive, your starting defense played really well. Your offense showed the ability to run the football. Your offensive line, which had been in flux much of the season and had been exploited, 19 sacks in the last 2 games. Your offensive line played better today. You ran the ball as you should have against an FCS opponent. You're building confidence, and look what your rushing attack did today. If this doesn't build your confidence, which is what you need going into this 3-week stretch of SEC tough games, I don't know what would. They got to feel better.
And how about 6 rushing touchdowns today? Had just 7 rushing touchdowns on the season coming into this game.
And then, as we like to say, it gets real.
Yeah.
It gets real.
You're right.
But the other positive thing for Oklahoma is that now you've had 2 straight weeks at the quarterback position where Jackson Arnold has been really good. Solid, if not really, really good. And so that gives you a lot of confidence going into the remainder of the schedule.
Anthony Harris has come in, the new quarterback for Maine, the senior. They keep it on the ground. Harris out of Pennsylvania. He's been in the program since 2000, so he's been in the program for 4 years now and knows it very well.
He gets his opportunity. He hasn't played much this season. 4 of 6, 67% completion, only 11 yards passing.
Timeout for an injured player on the defense.
Injured Sooner. I think that's Adapaju, Adabaruwe. They call him PJ, and he, with a little help, is going to limp off.
I mentioned it earlier, but Maine certainly, and Maine's fans didn't expect a win today. They wanted their team to be competitive. But you think about Maine and what they've already done this season. They've got a chance to finish the season strong. I mean, they knocked off FCS number 5 Villanova. They also beat, a ranked Albany team. So they can rise up in their conference and get big wins. So this game shouldn't be reflective of what you think about them as an FCS program.
Absolutely. They'll go 5-4 now on the season, but they're still 2-3 in the CAA.
Yep.
Harris throwing, and that's complete.
Well, they will finish, Maine will, with Bryant at home, New Hampshire at home on the 23rd. In between, they face Elon. That's what's ahead for the Black Bears. And I'm telling you, man, you got to get to Maine. And I can only recommend Bar Harbor because that's where I've been. But lobster everywhere. I mean, lobster everywhere.
You're speaking my language now.
And Acadia National Park is beautiful.
This is Santana Fisk.
You can spend a couple days, few days there, and you'll be go, okay, I'm good with lobster for a month or two. I can have it at breakfast and lunch and dinner. Like, it's a thing. It's no big thing to find it, man.
You got me fiending for a lobster roll right about now.
Yeah.
Man, all I'm thinking about. Mention that.
And you know, you do it without the mayonnaise. Just do the straight one, a little butter on the roll. You're good.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Again, Brian Santana Fisk with the carry. We're now 4 minutes left. I love when we were talking with Coach Venables too about, you know, the hot seat and stuff that he had heard around here, and he said, listen, I'm a winner.
Yep.
I know how to develop players.
Yep.
And I know how to win, and that's what I'm going to bring here to Norman.
Well, people forget he got a contract extension after last season, so he's not leaving without somebody writing a hefty paycheck. And I don't see that being an issue here.
Yeah.
I mean, this program has been built on stability over the years. You know, Bob Stoops, Barry Switzer. You know, so I don't expect there to be much of a push for anything to change with this staff, other than the whole issue of who's going to be the offensive coordinator next season.
Harris again through the air and sacked. Third sack of the night for Oklahoma. Devon Sears comes up with that one.
Yeah, only the third sack, but there's been pressure all day. And Sears is a fifth-year senior out of Detroit, Michigan. Transfer from Texas State.
Timeout, Oklahoma. Their first, second of the half. 30 seconds, timeout.
You know, we talked about Montego Moss, the son of Randy Moss, and how important he's been to the offense for Maine. Oklahoma did a tremendous job of shutting him down today. And part of that was because of what the front did with the pressure on Peavy most of the day. But the back end did its job too. You know, this was a day when Ross was held to, 2 receptions. And he was the team leader. He's the guy who's their difference maker. And there weren't many opportunities to get the ball to him.
Maine looking at a 2nd and 17 from their own 48. Harris again under pressure. Throws that one into the dirt.
We're talking about Montego Moss, and just by coincidence, I happened to get on a timeline last night the 2018 Hall of Fame information and knock on the door for his dad, Randy Moss. and just seeing the emotional impact of Randy Moss and being told he was in the Hall of Fame and thinking his son is playing on the field, you know, today for us is really kind of special. I mean, there have been some great moments in the Moss's family's athletic history.
Here's Harris, he'll keep it. Slides out of bounds at the 42. You can take a look at what Montego has done compared to what his father could do. The catches eerily similar.
Yeah, I love seeing Randy Moss at Marshall wearing the
Final
Wicked
charge,
Witch
timeout,
of the West, you know, striped socks, green and white, and then running by people and thinking, how does this guy at 6'4" run under 4'3", 40? He was toying with guys in college. He toyed with guys in the NFL.
He did. Yes, he did.
5 times he led the NFL in receiving.
Fourth and 7. Coming here from Maine. Final 2 minutes of the game. Harris throws. And that's going to be right at the line to gain. And a first down, it should be from Maine.
Yeah, and at the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
1:58 left in this one. Oklahoma on their way to victory. What the SEC has done here today, Ole Miss.
Wow, look at the Rebels.
And of course, Florida and Georgia, that one's a heated rivalry. You come your way around 3:30 Eastern in that A&M South Carolina game in South Carolina too.
How about the season Vandy's having?
Yeah. Vandy will get you. His first down. Oof. That's Simon Sadler. Gets the carry.
You know, we should know that the officials, particularly Oklahoma, did a tremendous job moving this game up. That decision worked out perfectly because we avoided the storm and possible game delays later this afternoon.
Heavy rain, hail called for this area, especially around 6 o'clock hour. Harris hit as he throws it and picked off. Reggie Powers. He had superpowers going up to go get that one.
Didn't he, though?
Roughing the passer. Number 16, contact above the shoulders. 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
And the pick is nullified. Reggie's Power is like, no, I'm a freshman. I just got my first pick. You kidding me?
You see the hit. Oh, yeah.
Anytime you get your hands up around the head and neck area, even when it's not targeting, a late hit on the quarterback, you're getting flagged for that. And there was plenty of time to pull off that.
So first and 10 from Maine. The drive continues. Now at the Sooners 20.
How do they get the ball in the end zone? That's the focus.
Oh, a little pop pass coming around. And that was blown up. Davon Sears, who got a sack earlier.
He is having a fourth quarter, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I mean, you mentioned the sack. And you don't think a guy who's 297 pounds is that quick? Well, he used his quickness to get into the backfield. This might be the last play.
Final 30 seconds of the game. Harris, he's going to keep it and slide.
Maine takes their final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
That's not going to go well in this stadium.
Well, here's the thing. There's sort of the gentleman's agreement that, hey, you run out the clock, no problem. You start calling timeouts and try to get that last score, well, now we're free defensively to take our shots. So if this is going to be a pass play, Oklahoma's probably looking at we are justified in bringing the heat, bringing the house. Now, if you call the timeout just to take a knee, okay.
Oklahoma will go to 5-4. Maine will drop to 4-5 on the season. Here's 3rd and 8. And they're going to go to the end zone, and that's incomplete.
Surprisingly, Oklahoma just played coverage. They only rushed 4. Didn't get after the quarterback. Last shot from Maine. This throw has to be into the end zone.
Here's 4th down. Harris throwing. That's complete. Ewing. Inside the 10.
They may not be able to get another playoff. It's going to take a scramble here.
See if they clock it. Yep, they will.
Depending on what they do here, they could actually have 2 shots at it. If they toss the ball or throw it quickly, they could get a second play. But if Harris runs around in the backfield, the clock is going to run out.
Harris throwing for the end zone, incomplete. He was looking.
Really good coverage on this over here, this play on the corner. That left arm around the waist is fine. You can do that so long as you don't turn. Also, you have the right to use that left arm on the hip and go make a play on the ball.
Final play of the game. Harris flush. Throws incomplete. And that's it. Oklahoma, 665 total yards of offense, 381 come on the ground, 6 rushing touchdowns. Davion Barnes, career high 203 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma now 10-0 against FCS program.
They accomplished exactly what they wanted to today. They got some positive reinforcement on the offense, ran the football, got their quarterback Arnold going. The defense did its thing. So perfect day for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma has now won 49 straight against non-conference opponents who are unranked. They'll have 3 against the SEC coming up. For Rod Gilmore, Lauren Sisler, I'm Brian Custer. Thanks for watching. Goodbye from Norman.